to official Robyn Banks and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button because this channel is full of tea, drama, and story times. And I'm a chick from Brooklyn and everybody loves a chick from Brooklyn, and that's on period. Period. As you can see by the title, this is another story time. This story, I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video, but clearly if you've seen the title, it's already titled, honey. This story is about a bum ass, and I know when y'all looking at this, y'all like, damn, how many bum ass you gonna encounter? I know it looked like I really encounter a lot of bum ass, but for every bum ass I had to get money, like period. But a lot of my stories about these encounters with these broke boys are before I know what I know now, so I had to get my knowledge together in the game, be able to tell who really got it and who don't. Disclaimer, if you're watching this video, I'm not a gold digger. Please leave those comments, the negative comments, oh, you using the guy for what he got, because that's really not me. If you watch my other story times, I always explain that, like, that's really not me. I don't really go for what a guy has. Whatever he has is just a plus for me. But I just don't like these capping ass. Like, if you don't have it, I would rather you say you don't have it instead of fraud like you got it, because that's a turn off. Like, keep it a buck, be real with yourself. Like most of my videos, this story took place around 2015, 2016, and we're gonna call this guy, I'm gonna say, we're gonna call this guy Fraud. Like, he don't even deserve a real name. We're just gonna call him Fraud for the sake of this video. So rewind back to early 2000s. In the neighborhood I live in, Fraud lived around the corner. He was like a little boy to me because he was younger than me, like a year or two. I would always ride my scooter around the corner, ride my bike around the corner, because most of the children in my neighborhood, they live around the corner from me. So like the people around my age, they live around the corner from me. So I would always ask my mom if I could go around the corner. And my mom and Fraud's mom were familiar because they used to wash their clothes in the laundromat. You know, West Indian people, you know, they connect, have conversations. They would pass each other on the street, say hi, little updates. They weren't friends, but like, you know, they were friendly neighbors. Technically not my neighbor because he lived on the next block, but you get what I'm trying to say. They were neighbors. We lived in the same neighborhood. And I would always go play with Fraud, and he had two little twin sisters that were like young. But as I started getting older, I wasn't really chilling in my neighborhood anymore. I would just go chill with my friends. You know, like, you start making friends in school. When you're from New York, you start making friends from school. And if you go to school in other hoods, you make friends in other hoods or sometimes other boroughs. So I wasn't really chilling in my neighborhood like that. Like I said, it wasn't a lot of people around my age, and like the people that were around my age, I couldn't really relate to them. There was stuff I like to do that they weren't into, so I didn't like being in my neighborhood. So for years I haven't even heard or seen Fraud for some time. But then Instagram started getting popping. So social media is crazy because social media, you reconnect with old friends, old family, stuff like that. So when Instagram started getting popping, I got a follow from in the in the Ivy. It looked like some brolic dark skin guy holding a pack to his ear. So I'm like, who this trying to follow me? You feel me? And I'm not gonna lie, at the time, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those shallow people. Like, I wouldn't follow people back if they was following too many people. And Fraud was following mad people and didn't have as much followers. So I just left him there, and his page was private. I just left him there and like didn't follow him back because it's like, who are you? You giving me like fan page vibes. Like, you following like 6,000 people, you only got 1,000 followers. I know that's corny, that's petty, that's shallow, but like, I was one of those people. Like, I'm not following you, follow mad people. Anyways, so days passed. I didn't think about it or nothing like that. I mean, like, the way I was looking at it, I was like, money or not, you must be a corn. But I got a DM one day and it was like, oh, you too good to follow people back. So I'm like, I put eyes because I'm like, who this? Like, so Fraud started talking, and like the more he started talking, he's like, it's crazy, you really acting like you don't know me. So I'm like, who is this? And he was like, follow so you could see. So I followed Fraud, he accepted it, and I'm looking through the photos. I'm like, oh, this is boy that lived around the corner that I used to play with when I was little. Like, but in his pictures, he was looking, I'm not gonna say he was looking alright, because he wasn't, he's not cute. He's not that cute in the face, but I mean, you know, he grew into a man from a little boy, because I used to son him. Like, I used to son him. You younger than me. Like, you 2 years younger than me. Like, I used to son him. So it's like, you grown up now. Oh, you know, feel me? And like, just like women, like, I like when people follow me. Like, people from my past follow me so they could see the glow up. And I guess that's what he wanted me to follow him for, so I could see the glow up. But it's like, I mean, he got a little muscle now. He's showing a little bit of things like money. He's showing cars and stuff like that. But nothing that's gonna make me be like, oh, this is that. This can't be little, I'm about to say his name. This can't be little Fraud from around the corner. It was just like, oh, you grew up. Like, that's what's up. So, yeah, to be petty, I followed him. I followed him just to see who it was, and then once I seen who it was, I unfollowed him because it was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like that. So, as days passed, I believe it was Instagram stories at this time. Was there Instagram stories in 2015? Let me know, guys, in the comments. But if there was, he was replying to all my stories. If there wasn't, he was commenting under my pictures. Whatever it was that they had at the time, he was definitely under everything that I posted. Whether it was a meme, a picture of me, a horoscope, he was under it trying to get my attention. Or every picture I posted, he would like. DM me like a serial DMer would, like, oh, like, try to make conversation, but I would leave him on scene. And it's not about me acting bougie. It's just like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, we knew each other, we grew up with each other, but the way he was trying to take it was on some, he's trying to mess with me type stuff. And it's like, I don't see you like that. Like, and I feel like at that time, I was vibing, living my life. I was really not trying to talk to nobody from my hood. Like, I was in my own little world, so it wasn't given that. So I always used to ignore him, not to be bougie or Hollywood or nothing like that, but I would ignore him. So I don't really remember how we started talking, like, which is so, it's like, I deserve everything that happened beyond this point, because I should have just kept ignoring him. Every time I ignore people and just try to start talking to them, it's always a reason why. It's like, I knew I was ignoring you for a reason. But basically, Fraud and I started texting, and he basically was telling me, oh, like, you know, he was trying to catch up. So I'm like, oh, you still live in the hood? I don't be seeing you or whatever. He's like, nah, I got a crib in Jersey, a condo in Jersey. I don't live in the hood. I only stop by to check on my moms and my sisters and this, that, and the third. Well, he said I only come by to drop bread from my moms and my sister. And stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. You got a crib in Jersey. That's what's up. And then he would always talk about, like, we would have conversations, and if I'll be like, what you doing? He'll be like, oh, I'm on the road, or I'm about to make a drop, and da-da-da. Like, he basically was trying to insinuate to me that he's scamming. I guess he was trying to prove to me, like, he got money. And I feel like at one point we had a conversation, and he said something along the lines of, I'm not the little boy you used to know, or like, I'm in my bag, or some shit like that. And I'm just like, okay, Fraud, do your thing. Like, okay. Like I said, I don't talk to guys for what they have. Whatever you have is a plus to me. Like, I don't see guys with money as like, oh, I'm gonna talk to him. It's just like, if I like you, or like, if I'm drawn to you and you have money, that's what's up. I really don't come with my hand out anyway, but we gonna get there. So we started talking. I don't remember the first time we chilled, but like officially chilled, but I think I have the video. So this is what happened. Okay. All right. I remember. So, one day, I think he posted on Instagram, like, he's driving when he's bored or something like that. He's driving around or whatever. And I was about to go to Florida to meet Tammy. This was 2 years ago. So me, Gisela, and Tammy were going to go to Disney World. So I was going to fly out to Florida, meet up with Tammy so we could go to Disney World. So I took my hair out and stuff. I had errands to run. I had to go get a washer set. Just little stuff I had to do. So he was like, oh, I'm just driving around not doing shit. I don't know if he texted me that or posted it. Something along those lines. And playing around jokingly, I'm like, oh, take me to run my errands. And he was like, I got you. So I'm like, okay. Mind you, it was fairly early. It was like 12, 1 or some shit in a day or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I got a ride to go do my errand shit. I don't gotta take on the train, nothing. I'm gonna go get my hair washed, get my nails done. So we riding around. I'm gonna insert some of the clips because I got them in my Snapchat memories. We riding around, you know, and in person I'm like, okay, you know what, fraud, you not too bad. Like, you chill, you not doing the most. Cause
yo, I just did my TD drop. It freed up a
in the text, he was doing the most, trying to prove that he got bread to me, and like he upped it, and he's not the same little boy. And it was just like nobody cares. But in person, he was giving real chill vibes. Then he started doing the most. The first thing I realized he started doing the most is we was driving around aimlessly without no destination. When I got in the car, I was trying to tell him, like, I didn't have an appointment to get a wash and set all my nails done, because it was like, at that time, it wasn't like crazy. You didn't have to book appointments crazy. You could then just walk into the hair salon and get your hair done. So my plan was like, oh, I'm gonna chill with him an hour or two, and then he could drive me to do what I gotta do. He was driving around aimlessly, and he was making it seem like he gotta run errands. So he's just driving from hood to hood, making stops, but he's not doing anything. Which is like, he would get out the car. I can't explain. Like, he would get out the car, go into the store, come out with nothing. Like, and then he's like, oh, you want to come with me to Saks? And then he's showing me a bag in his trunk, talking about he went to Saks that day and he went shopping. And on his body, he had on Givenchy shorts, I think some lubes, and like a white tee. So I'm like, okay, Mr. Money, like,
you got money. He got money. Get it off for him.
All right, you trying to, okay, but it's like, you're not doing anything. Like, why are you driving around? Like, so this is when he really started doing too much. We went to a store to get a bottle of water or whatever, right? And he's like, went to the store to get a bottle of water. He's like, oh, you got change? I want a bottle of water. And he backs out a wad of cash from his pocket, and he's like, oh, you got change? You got change? I only got hundreds. And I'm like, I just gave him $1. I'm just like, oh yeah, get your water. But it's like, I hate corny shit like that. Like, yeah, you have money. Why are you riding around with mad money? What if I'm the type of bitch to book you? And two, you just wanted me to see your hundreds. You didn't have to take all your money to show me that you don't have change to buy a water. Like, I don't understand. You could have just asked me if I had $1 and say you didn't have change. You didn't have to back out your whole stash to show me you didn't have change. Whatever. Then we was passing a bum on the street. Like, we was driving around, we was passing like a homeless person on the street. He got out the car to give him $100. That was nice. That was nice. But I really feel like that was not genuine. He was just trying to prove to me, like, he got money and he could do shit like that. Cool, collected, calm. So anyways, he made me come with him all the way to Long Island so he can do a drop. Like I told y'all, he was going around acting like he was making moves and doing runs, and I was paying attention. He was really not doing nothing. But you know what's crazy? You know, ladies, you know, like, you ever like to ride around with a guy, like, you not doing nothing with your life. You just, if you want to make errands, it's like, oh, take me with you, boo. And that was the vibe I was on. Like, yeah, I had to get a wash set. That's not gonna take no time. And I gotta get my nails done. That's not gonna take no time. So for the most part, I didn't have nothing to do. So yeah, take me to Long Island to do your drops. I don't care, because he was buying me food. You know, we was chilling, we was talking, we was reconnecting or whatever. And that's that. By the time he came back from Long Island, I couldn't get my hair done. I couldn't get my hair washed. I couldn't get my nails done. So I kind of had a pissed attitude about it. So he dropped me home. I'm like, damn, I was with you all day. I didn't even get to do, like, I didn't even get to run the errands that I was supposed to do. I'm just annoyed. Like, I'm gonna have to, like, wash my hair when I go to Florida. Like, have Tammy wash my hair, something like that, and braid it up for me so I could put on a wig. So for the inconvenience for my time, he gave me $100, which is like, once again, I didn't ask him for no money. He didn't have to give me any money. It's like, he was trying to prove something to me. And it's like, that's cool. That's what's up. Listen, if a guy's giving me $100 just because he feel bad for making me miss an appointment, by all means, I'm gonna take it. So I just took the bread. Cool. So from that point on, we was just basically texting. Like I said, I'm not talking to him because he had money. It's just that sometimes you really gotta chill with a person to feel their vibe out. And like, when I chilled with him, besides all the extracurriculum corny shit he was doing, he was dead chill. We had conversations. He wasn't a dunce. We had some conversations. We reconnected. And I feel like some point in the conversation, he was basically asking me, like, if I talk to anybody. And I'm like, nah, I don't really mess with nobody. Like, I'm talking to people, texting, but it's not nothing. And I asked him if he was talking to somebody. And he was like, no, I don't mess with nobody. Da-da-da. Like, I'm chilling. I'm focused right now. You know, I got bills. I got to take care of my mama.
Cap.
All that shit. Keep that in mind, though. So... boom, next day come. Actually, and then we also had a conversation about him driving me to the airport to go to Florida. I don't remember how early my flight is, but I remember I woke up and texted him. But I'm only going to text you one time. So I woke up and texted him like, you taking me to the airport? And he never wrote back. I didn't call him down, nothing. I just went to the airport. He texted me later on that day like, oh, did you make it? Like, he texted me. This shit is so crazy. He texted me right around the time that I was already in Florida to like be like, oh, yo, what time is your flight? When he knew my flight was at a certain time and I'll be in Florida by the time he texted me. So it could look like he made the effort, but in reality, he knew that I was not in New York anymore. But anyways, so we was texting from there. So we've been texting from there, and I was in Florida for like 3-4 days, went to Disneyland. We've been speaking the whole time, and it was basically like, oh, I can't wait to see you. I'm going to pick you up from the airport and this and a case. Like, I want to see you, da-da-da. And it was like, all right, cool, fraud. We could chill. Like, shit. We could chill. So the day I was supposed to come back to New York, I was flying back with my friend Gisela because me and Gisela went to... Ew, I'm talking like that. Me and Gisela went to...
Hold on, Aaron, and iron, earn. Damn, what?
Gisela and I both went to Florida, so we was coming back together. So I explained that to Fraud, and I'm like, yeah, I'm land at this time. Like, I'm with my friend. Can you drop us home? He's like, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna pick you up from the airport. I'm gonna drop you home. He's like, if I can't make it, I'm gonna just send you money to take an Uber. And I'm like, cool, no pressure. While I'm on the plane, like, you know how you got a gut feeling, like, I don't know, I be having these feelings when I know, like, something is not gonna go as planned. Not that I needed him to pick me up from the airport, but it would just been more convenient if he picked me up and me and my friend. But me, because we just spent mad money at Disney World. So, towards, like, the end of my flight, I'm texting him because I had Wi-Fi, and I'm like, are you picking me up? He's like, yeah, I'm on my way to the airport right now. So him being saying he on his way to the airport, it gave me a confidence. And I kept texting him almost when I'm about to land. I'm like, landing, where are you now? He's like, oh, I'm 10-15 minutes away. So I had that confidence, like, oh, he's dead ass coming. So I'm telling Gisela, like, he's dead ass pulling up. We got to ride home, girl. Like, yeah. So we land. We get to the airport. We went to baggage claim. We went through all of that. And I'm texting him, nothing. Calling, nothing. And I'm like, that's suspicious.
That's suspicious.
And I'm like, that's weird because you told me you was on your way.
Cap.
You told me it was 10 minutes away, and that was 30 minutes ago. We did all of this extra curriculum. You should be here by now. But like I said, I don't wait on nobody. Like, I don't wait on nobody to do anything for me. So Gisela and I just took an Uber, went home, or whatever the case may be. Once I got home, all of a sudden, Fraud texted me. It's like he knows when I get to my destinations. He texts me like, oh, where you at? My phone died. I pulled up to the airport and my phone died. I was looking for a charger. I came out my car and everything to see if I could see you. And I'm just like, you're in a car. How do you let your phone die? You didn't know your phone was dying. You didn't have a charger, and you're picking me up from the airport. Like, the math is not mathing. I'm just like, you know what? It's cool. I'm home. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna give you the money for the Uber. I'm like, yo, don't worry about it, whatever. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm not tripping. I'm home. So as we started talking, he tried to come to my house. He was like, oh, what you doing tonight? And I'm like, I'm chilling. I just came back from Florida. I'm gonna shower. I'm gonna unpack. I'm gonna do laundry. You know, get back into my zen. I'm home from a little short trip. Just get back into the swing of things, right? He's like, oh, I can't come lay down with you.
Boy, if you don't get...
And I'm like, why do you think you would be able to come lay down with me? Like, in my head, it's like, first things first, right? You told me you have this whole condo in Jersey, right? Why would you want to come sleep with me in my mom's house? like in my parents' house, lay in my bed in my parents' house, when you got a whole condo in Jersey where you're free to do whatever you please. Not saying I wasn't free to, like, not saying like I couldn't have come in and like that, but I just feel like that's mad. I don't just bring anybody in and out my parents' house. And two, why do you think you could come lay down with me, period? You didn't even drop me to the airport. You didn't even pick me up. You're not reliable. After all that, when it all boils down, you think you're gonna come lay down with me, nigga? What?